Okay, in this next video, we're going to focus on the system user table. Again, within the AssetWorks database, within the list of tables, if you scroll all the way down, you'll see system user. And the system user account is tied, first of all, to a company ID. So I'm just showing the only two current users that are defined here in the AssetWorks database. You'll see there's a company ID column that has to be identified from the list that was created previously in the company table, right? So if we go up to the company table here and I say select, you'll see the list of IDs for the companies that, or departments or divisions, however you want to subdivide your assets. Those ID numbers are now going to be referenced as we create users. And when we look also at the user list, I want you to pay attention here to most of these variables are going to be null. They're going to be empty. And so the number one issue is you've got to have a name and you've got to have a company ID. So if I've got another one that's just 463 as a username. And there's a couple other headings I wanted to point out here. Company ID, of course, is required, but hide admin pop-ups and view only. 1 meaning true, 0 meaning false. And what I'm suggesting as a functional start point for AssetWorks user management is to define users that can view the information in a browser or on a mobile device, but can't change any of the data. And then you're going to have a smaller number of people that are in charge of inventory management, and you're going to give them more admin rights so they can go out and do inventories and change ownership, change locations, add assets, delete assets, all of the power that goes along with that. But those admin people are also going to have a company ID that's going to tie their power to one group, division, department, or company. Okay? So how do we manage this? How do we create these tables? Well, you can do it, again, in a couple different ways. The main way you're going to have to do this is through the AssetWorks web service. So again, you have to be a super admin login to do this. So we'll go up to admin, then users, and we can create add. And you can give a company index. I'm going to take that one. Oops. Yeah, that's my company. And my username here, I'm going to say is 531. I'm going to say I'm a view only user, and I'll set a password here of the same value, 531, 531. And when I say OK and hit save, you'll see I have a new user. Okay, and if I continue and I go back to my table, viewing it in SQL Server Management Studio, I'm going to refresh the database to see the latest value here. Say select top rows, and you'll see that I now have that. The key thing here to look at is in the password, I've got an encoded binary 64-bit kind of version of my simple password of 531. So unfortunately, I cannot simply write a script and fill out this table because the password is going to have to be defined manually within the user form here within the web service. I don't have an ability to import a table, unfortunately. So this part is going to be have to be done manually. And if you want to delete things, you can delete them. I'm basically going to start from scratch here. Yep. So now I just have the super admin one. I'll come back here. I'll hit refresh, and you'll see that I have removed them. Right? I only have that. Now I did want to show you what one thing you can do if you have a large number of users is to run a script here that will simply define the key parameters, and then you can go back into the web service just to set the password. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to have a bunch of users that are read-only, and then I'm going to have a version of it that's going to be an admin person. Okay, so I will run this script. Whoops, and let's see what that error is. Let's try this. I'm just trying to see where my syntax error is, and I think I found it. Okay, we'll try this one last time. Okay, so I did find my syntax error. I had to actually put in a couple of quotes here for the password. Anyway, this is the script. I'm just going to go ahead and save that before I forget, and that'll be available on the support web as well. Now, in doing this, I've created 16 additional usernames. And we can see that if we go over here and hit that. And now I see my usernames here. And in terms of, relevant information, the key thing here is, are they read-only or not, right? And so I've got them oriented in that way. You want to sort them in a different way, you can. Okay. Anyway, so the usernames for full control over the assets and locations within a specific company ID, you'll just have the word admin after it. And that's how I'm doing it. You can do whatever you want. Now, I'm going to go in and I'm going to change each one of these. So I'll pick this and I'll say edit. I'm going to set the password here, and I'm just going to do a simple password. You can do whatever you wish on that, whatever makes sense. And then we'll go to the next one, and we'll follow through with all of these, resetting the password here so that when you go back into your table, you'll now see that I have a correct password that's encoded in this way and can be actually used, right? So you have to manually go through and reset the password through the web service for each and every one of these. But when you're done, you'll then have all of these usernames that you can log in with. All right, that's how that works.